Hey, to be just a second.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and
What's up, guys?
fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack,
Sorry, I'm still sharing the link. It'll be just a second. It actually might run over the timer. I just saw somebody I was trying to get to respond to me finally responded, so I had to respond back. There's someone that's been in my chat for like a while, and then they have another account, another Telegram account, but they have the exact same profile picture. And like that other chat that's always talking shit about me that we always read their stuff, they sat in that chat and like every post talking shit about me. And then when people call them out in my chat, they never respond. They're like, hey, why are you liking this post? Hey, what's going on? Hey, is this you? Same profile picture, just two different names. So I finally sent them a message, and I'm like, the response doesn't even make sense. I was like, why are you in my chat if you're liking all these posts that are just talking shit about me? But their response doesn't even make sense. They're like, oh, I can't like a post talking shit about Phil. No one said that. I don't know who the fuck these people are. I think their reading comprehension is way behind. Let me share this. Give me just a second. I don't care. I'll fucking read you the message. We've been trying to get her to answer for a week. And then over on YouTube, I've got 2 more things to do. Content live. Then we'll roll the intro. Give me just a second. But I don't know. Susie something. I don't know. Her other name is Lobo something. I don't know. Like every post over in that other chat where they're talking shit about me, she's got to put a fucking like on it or 100% or whatever, and then just to hang out in my chat for whatever, just leave. Like if you don't like me, that's fine. I can't make people just leave then. Like I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. I can't make you like me. Just leave. No, I think I'll just sit here and pretend like nothing's happening around me. Okay. I'll help you leave. All right, roll the intro.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Let's see. Welcome everybody. I'm Will Bird, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. The person I was talking about, let me see if I can find it. Sorry. I'm behind. I'm trying to pull this shit up. The person I was talking about has been in my, let me copy username. Has been in my chat for, who knows how long, under Susie Craft. But they're in the other chat where with Melon or whatever. I honestly don't know who runs those accounts, but 2 of the accounts are the same. The 2 burner accounts are definitely the same. But anyways, every time someone talks shit about like, oh, Will's letting Phil sell 7K to us. Did any of you guys buy 7K? You shouldn't have. While we were all talking shit about it. It would be very weird if you bought 7K while everybody was there talking shit about 7K. Wouldn't that be strange? Anyways, she likes like every post over there. And then like multiple times she's been tagged in like screenshots of the post.
Nana Griffin just resubscribed for 20 months.
Thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate it. 20 months, that's a long time. Anyways, we got like people took screenshots of her, like literally her profile picture. just a different name over there, like liking the chats, and tagged her in it and to ask her a question. So that wasn't working. She wouldn't respond. She just ignored it. So I don't want somebody sitting in my chat that's over there obviously trying to bring me down or talk shit about me or whatever, right? Why would I want? So that's why our chat's protected. That's why you have to ask the end, blah blah blah. That's why it's not like you can just sit in there or come in there. I don't know. Anyways, so I sent her a message. I said, "Is there a reason you're in my chat? And also keep liking all the posts talking shit about me in other chats. No hard feelings, but you have been asked several times in chat and you won't answer anyone," which I thought was pretty professional. I could have been a dick about it. And she said this: "Not to be a smart ass, but you've said numerous times it's not your chat, but I guess it is." Has anybody ever heard me say that my chat is not my chat? I don't know what she's saying. You've said numerous times it's not your chat, but I guess it is. When have I ever said it? I literally come in there all the time. I was like, this is my chat. I make the fucking rules here. Like, I don't know. But then she says, "Is there a problem with liking posts in your chat, especially the ones that are negative about Phil, as few of them as there are, or the funny ones, and also being in other chats?" No, that's not what I said. There's no problem liking any post in my chat, whether it's pro Phil, anti Phil, funny, not funny. There's no problem with that. Then she says, "If you must know, I think you've turned soft on Phil and have become a hypocrite when you're the one who originally called him out for his bullshit. You lay low and say it's all hearsay and you're just as tough on him, but that's just not true. Not sure why it all happened, but it's strange to watch those that hated the asshole now defend him in your chat." This is the thing that I don't get. There are some of Phil's followers that are like, "Be respectful to Phil," and we tell them to suck a dick. No one's nice to Phil in my chat. Do we let people just cuss him for fucking 30 minutes till they're out of breath? No. But we're not going to fucking just cuss him out and be like, "Why, fuck you, you piece of shit." Someone sent me an email. It's like, "I guess your mods don't like me talking to Phil." But they just put in the chat, "Fuck you, asshole Phil." And someone's like, "Hey, don't just cuss him out, right? Ask him a question or something." And one of the mods told him that and deleted their message. And then they put the exact same message again. Like, the fuck? Like, I can dislike somebody and the things they do and the actions they take and still have a conversation with them. Like, I'm not just gonna cuss them out. Nothing is resolved then. If you must know, the reason I like having Phil in my chat, I've said this many times, Phil says things and does things in my chat that he would never do in his own chat. Phil is a different person in my chat than he is in other chats. And a lot of times that type of stuff ends up making a case against some of his other claims. He's been caught several times in my chat lying about shit. People have screenshot it, right? And it's not the same thing he says in his chat. But I'm not just going to let somebody write just a bunch of cuss words, right? I wouldn't let him do that to anybody. Whether you like him or not, I wouldn't let them do that to any member of my chat. Like, if you come in there like starting trouble or asking for trouble, obviously you're going to find trouble. But enemies, friends close and enemies closer. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, she says, "Not sure why it's all happened, but it's strange to watch those that hated the asshole now defend him in your chat." I don't think there's anybody defend. I mean, there are some people that slip through that are his followers. He told people to join my chat and watch my shows, right? And there are people that pop up every once in a while. They're like, "Be nice to Phil." And we're like, no. Right? Don't cuss him out, but ask him hard questions, right? Ask him the questions you've always want answered. Like, why did he lie about this? Why do his fans believe that he's JFK's grandson? Why do 96% of people never break even on 7K? Those things, right? You not just be like, "Pedophile, fuck you." Like, that's crazy. It's crazy. What are you getting out of that? I don't understand what you're getting. Anyways, she says, "I didn't respond to the 2 questions asked of me because I didn't really think it mattered. You have people lurk in other chats and post screenshots all the time. I've never done that. I comment very little in most chats, like posts, but don't say much at all. I feel like because I said something negative about Phil, a mod came after me, which is weird. No one's ever came after you. People say negative shit about Phil all the time. I don't know. I don't understand it. I honestly don't get it, but it is whatever. I don't know if they just don't know that Phil was in my chat before, right? And he actually, the only reason he left is because he ended up fucking up and telling his, he told his following that he was sick or busy or didn't have internet or something and couldn't do a show. And then they found out that he was posting in my chat and they got mad at him and they took off. No one here is fucking friends with Phil, likes Phil. But wouldn't you rather have an open line to ask him these questions that we typically can't question him about? And he's going to give you a different answer than he would to his following. He acts completely different. I think that one in itself is telling, right? In itself is telling that he acts like two different people. But second, you get answers that you would never get answers out of him anywhere else. But if you want to go, if you believe those things about me, I wouldn't stay in my chat either. So I'll help you. I'll help you leave the chat. I wouldn't be there if you believe those things that you're fucking throwing 100% on and fucking thumbs up on and shit. I wouldn't be in my chat either. Bye. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, ask Phil all the questions you want. I don't want it to turn into like a 24/7. Hey Phil, hey Phil, hey Phil. Like it's Phil's chat. We can talk about other things. But no one should be stopping you from asking Phil a question. Not a single person will be stopping you from asking any questions of Phil. Are you going to be able to cuss him and be like, you fucking piece of shit, you're a goddamn pedophile, you deserve to die? No, probably not. But no one's stopping you from asking any question of Phil, debating him on any topic, telling him your views on a topic or how his views are wrong on a topic. No one's stopping you any of that. And we typically don't entertain anybody defending Phil. Just like that bitch that was in chat the other night that was like, Bree's a liar. She instantly got banned. That was it. She's done. Right? Anyways, while we're on the topic of Phil, it would seem that Phil lost a court case today. So Phil was hoping that his anti-slap would go through. What is anti-slap? It basically, different states have different laws for anti-slap. California is the strongest state. If Phil's anti-slap won't work in California, it won't work fucking anywhere. Okay? So Phil went for anti-slap. Oh, I hope it's working today. There it goes. Okay, that's working. Thank you, Red Pill Girlfriend.
Drinking. I'm a little bit
What's up, buffering?
I'm a little bit drunk. Cause I'm drinking,
I see you over there on Rumble.
Drinking.
Dance and Giant Sands just resubscribed for 21 months.
Thank you very much for the resubscription as well. So, if Phil's anti-slap won't work in California, it wouldn't work anywhere. It is literally the strictest. Like Tennessee has one. Tennessee's anti-slap isn't very strong. It just got open to the public. But like last time I looked into it, which is probably a few years ago, it was only against the government. But basically an anti-slap is, hey, this rich, powerful person is trying to sue me. Typically, this person's trying to sue me to silence my free speech. And they are trying to silence my free speech on some type of topic of concern. Why is California the strongest and where did it come from? Movie stars. So movie stars and famous people and wealthy people out in California were basically, when any negative press would come up about them, someone would call them and say, hey, I'm doing a story on you, or so-and-so's doing a story on you. They want to comment. They say you did whatever, right? These people with money and power would try to sue them into oblivion to either make them print a retraction or not allow them to publish their article or whatever, right? It is when you're telling the court, first of all, when you do an anti-slap, everything stops. Pebbles even had to apply for a limited discovery. This is the Telegram lawyer retards. We're like, oh, she wants to limit her discovery because she's scared of what Phil will find. No, she was asking everything stopped as soon as the anti-slap's filed. She was asking to do more discovery to defeat this anti-slap. You fucking retards. But anyways, everything stops till the judge rules. Is this violating the person's First Amendment? Is this just to silence them? Is this just to put a chilling effect on, you know, people that would do this type of thing? And, of course, Phil lost. And we ended up with a document like this, I believe. It says, Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, Civil Division, Southwest District, Torrance Courthouse, Department P, Pebbles versus Phil Godlewski. David K. Reinert is the judge. Judicial assistant is Huang, and courtroom assistant is Aranda. 4 plaintiffs, Jeff Lewis and Kyla Dayton. So that's El Jefe. 4 defendants, Philip Godlewski by Karen Swigert. And it says, nature of proceedings, hearing on special motion to strike under CCP section 425-16, the anti-slap motion. This is a case management conference. So they all met up today to see if Phil's anti-slap would strike everything down. And it says, the court has read and considered all documents filed here too regarding the above captioned motion and issues the following tentative ruling. Moving parties was the Phil, and responding party was Pebbles. And it says, motion to strike Pebbles' first cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress pursuant to Code Civil Procedure 425.16. The court considered the moving papers' opposition and reply, ruling. Phil's motion to strike Pebbles' first cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress pursuant to Code of Civil Procedure is denied. Background. Pebbles is a hairstylist who owns a business in Los Angeles County known as Salon Touche. Plaintiff Pebbles alleges that Phil Godlewski posted her contact information or her business information to his over 300,000 Telegram social media followers and encouraged them to leave negative reviews about Salon Touche and harass plaintiff personally as a result of Godlewski's Telegram post. Pebbles has received more than 1,000 negative reviews on Yelp and Google. Pebbles alleges Godlewski's followers also made negative posts on her Facebook and Instagram business accounts. Pebbles alleges her business phone number has become essentially unusable due to the number of non-customers using the number to harass her instead of booking an appointment. Pebbles has also personally received handwritten threats to her person at her place of business. On July 19th, Pebbles filed a complaint against Godlewski alleging a single case cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress. On September 6, 2023, Godlewski filed a special motion to strike, anti-slap motion, currently before this court. On April 10th, 2024, Pebbles filed an opposition to the anti-slap motion. On April 16th, 2024, Phil filed a reply to Pebbles' opposition. Legal authority. A cause of action against the person arising from any act of that person in furtherance of the person's right of petition of free speech under the United States Constitution of the California Constitution in connection with a public issue shall be subject to special motion to strike unless the court determines that the plaintiff has established that there is probability that the plaintiff will prevail on the claim. So basically what this says is under this slap motion, it can be struck down unless we look at this and there's a probability that Pebbles will win. So it could have been, if they're saying, oh, Pebbles is not going to win, this is just to cost Phil money, to silence him, to take him out, to make him jump through hoops. Obviously, that's not what the judge thinks. They think that there's a probability that Pebbles will prevail on a claim. As used in this section, act to furtherance a person's right of petition or free speech under the United States California Constitution in connection with the public issue includes any written or oral statement or writing made before a legislative, executive, or judicial proceeding or any other official proceeding authorized by law. Any written or oral statement writing made in connection with an issue under consideration by review of legislative, executive, or judicial body or any other official proceeding authorized by law. Any written or oral statement writing made in a place open to the public or public forum in connection with an issue of public interest. So that would be Phil, like he made it open in the public on his Telegram, right? Any other conduct that furthers the existence of the constitutional right of petition or the constitutional right of free speech in connection with a public issue or an issue of public interest. Litigation of an anti-slap motion involves a two-step process. First, the moving defendant bears the burden of establishing the challenged allegations or claims arise from protected activity in which the defendant has engaged. So Phil, the moving party, would have to prove that he bears the burden of establishing the challenged allegations, whatever they may be, came from his First Amendment, a protected activity, his First Amendment, right? Second, for each claim that does arise from protected activity, the plaintiff must show the claim has at least minimal merits. At least minimal merit. If the plaintiff cannot make this showing, the court will strike the claim. Now, there's people on Telegram that'll tell you over and 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 over again that Pebble's case is going nowhere. The judge is going to throw it out. There's even people saying she filed in the wrong court. This isn't even going to go through. There's people telling you that it wasn't real. There's people telling you that it was a joke, that Pebbles and Phil were working together, that it couldn't be looked up online, so it wasn't real. Obviously, that's not true. They have to show merit to even proceed forward, and they proceeded forward. So I don't know. I don't know where they're coming from there. Where the moving party seeks to strike an entire cause of action alleging multiple factual bases, court does not determine whether first prong is met based on the Gravaman test, but determine whether each factual basis supplies the element of the claim, merely provides context. Bonnie expressly rejected the Gravaman test, which had been applied in the past. On the first step, courts are going to consider the elements of the challenge claim and what actions by defendants supply those elements, and consequently from the basis of liability. The defendant's burden is to identify what acts each challenge claim rests on to show how those acts are protected under a statutorily defined category of protected activity. So basically, protected activity would be free speech, or to protest or something like that. Once the defendant demonstrates that a cause of action arises from protected conduct, the burden shifts to plaintiff on the second step to demonstrate that the complaint is both legally sufficient and supported by a sufficient prima facie showing of facts to sustain a favorable judgment if all evidence is submitted by the plaintiff is credited. So basically, once Phil said, okay, proves this is my speech, right? Then Pebbles had to come in and show that there was some credibility that she could actually win this. The second prong of the statute deals with whether the plaintiff has demonstrated probability of prevailing on the claim. The Superior Court, in making these determinations, considerations, the pleadings and supporting of the opposing affidavits stating the facts upon which liability or defense is based, for purposes of an anti-SLAPP motion, the court considers the pleadings and evidence submitted by both sides, but does not weigh credibility. So they consider whatever, this is what I was telling you guys yesterday, they consider whatever is turned in, but they do not weigh credibility, and they do not compare the weight of the evidence. They just accept it as true. So this is a great place to be if you're willing to lie to the court, because they just accept it. They don't weigh your credibility in this. It doesn't matter if you're on record lying about this 1,000 times. They just accept it. A plaintiff need only establish that his or her claim has minimal merit to avoid being stricken as a slap. With the descriptions in mind, we will not strike a cause of action under the anti-SLAPP statute unless it lacks even minimal merit. The probability of prevailing is tested by the same standard governing the motion for summary judgment, non-suit. So this is the opposite of summary judgment. So if you go into summary judgment, like the Scranton Times is doing with Phil right now, they're basically trying to get the summary judgment to go through. It has to look like the case has no merit, right? There's no chance Phil can win. The opposite is true here. To get the anti-SLAPP taken away, the case has to show that it does have some merit and a chance to win. Summary judgment, non-suit, or directed verdict. Thus, in opposing SLAPP motion, it is a plaintiff's burden to make prima facie showing of facts that would support judgment in plaintiff's favor. Precisely because the statute, 1, permits early intervention in lawsuits alleging unmeritorious causes of action that implicate free speech concerns. 2, limits opportunity to conduct discovery, the plaintiff's burden of establishing probability of prevailing is not high. We do not, so the plaintiff's probability of prevailing, of establishing a probability of prevailing is not high. So they're saying, since we're not given Pebbles discovery, and since we've stopped all the actions right here, she doesn't have to have a high probability of winning, right? She just has to have a probability of winning. We do not weigh credibility, nor do we evaluate the weight of the evidence. Instead, we accept as true all evidence favorable to the plaintiff and assess the defendant's evidence only to determine if it defeats the plaintiff's submission as a matter of law. So they take everything Pebbles said, or if this would have been Phil's, whoever says, they take it all as true, and they look at the other side only to see if it'll defeat what is they've already accepted as true. Only a cause of action that lacks even minimal merit constitutes slap. A cause of action that lacks even minimal merit is how you get a slap ruling, okay? Overstock.com versus Gradient Analytics Incorporated. Discussion. First prong, defendant Godlewski fails to establish that the complaint arises from protected conduct under CCP 425.16E3. A, parties' positions. According to Godlewski, the complaint for IIED arises from protected conduct because the conduct that supplies the outrageous conduct element of the plaintiff's IIED claim are posts and statements he made on Telegram, a public forum, and those statements were in connection with an issue of public interest. So Godlewski's lawyer's claiming, hey, he made these public statements. Hey, Patty, he made these public statements, and they were of public interest on a public forum, which would be Telegram. I try to check in and read the comments from Rumble every once in a while, so there's not many people over there. I don't want to feel left out. Godlewski maintains his statements were in connection with an issue of public interest for several reasons. Godlewski argues he is an issue of public interest because he has 300,000 Telegram followers, multiple hate groups that formed against him, and tens of millions of views on his content in any given month. Godlewski contends Pebbles attacked him prior to his doxing her by claiming to have insider knowledge that Godlewski was a pedophile, committed tax fraud, and other wrongful acts. This is not true. Like, we've not got into establishing whether stuff's true or not, but when we actually get to court, this is not true. Pebbles was just minding her own fucking business, then out of the blue, Phil doxed her. Mostly from the connections Phil had with the hate group. But Pebbles wasn't doing shit to Phil. She wasn't sending people messages. She wasn't posting about it. She wasn't doing anything about him. Godlewski argues his statements were also in connection with an issue of public interest because Pebbles' statements attack Godlewski and his followers. Finally, Godlewski argues there is a widespread interest in directing purchasing power to companies with shared values. Godlewski maintains his statements directed his followers to inform the public about what type of person Pebbles was and to discourage members of the public from patronizing her business. In response, Pebbles argues her complaint arises from a private dispute between herself and Godlewski. Pebbles argues Godlewski 300,000 Telegram followers and his status as a well-known QAnon conspiracy theorist does not establish that everything he says or does is a matter of public interest. Pebbles argues Godlewski cannot establish that the statement or conduct alleged against him could directly affect a large number of persons beyond the direct participants. So basically, Pebbles is like, we had this private email exchange and then you fucking blew it up, right? And just because you have 300,000 followers, that doesn't make you taking a shit this morning public interest, right? It doesn't make everything public interest. Pebbles argues that the statements were also not in connection with the topic of boycotting and patronizing businesses based on shared values. That's true. It was a point, a bomb, and a sunglasses emoji. Pebbles argues any connection between Godlewski's doxing and the general public interest in boycotting or patronizing businesses as a reflection of personal values is remote. Pebbles argues the statements alleged against Godlewski are not tied to any issue of public interest. Pebbles maintains her action is based on a personal dispute between two individuals that is unrelated to any topic of public interest. Boom. It's kind of interesting. They don't want to show their, I guess the majority of those watching are part of the two. Yeah, a lot of hate watchers over there, Patty, on Rumble. Like, what's weird is sometimes I'll be like, hey, there's 120 people watching on Rumble, and then instantly 30 of them will leave. Like they've been called out or some shit. It's weird. It's interesting that this Pebbles case, because it's dealing with the internet, because it's dealing with Telegram, because it's like new technology and stuff, this will probably be whatever decides here will become case law. And we might look up a case in the future and somebody will reference the McCaslin v. Godlewski and the rulings that happened there, which is interesting. By the way, when I didn't agree with Nick Alvear because he's a fucking retard, we've seen his movies, we know he's a retard, I was told that everybody should be on board. Everybody should be support. What is wrong with me that I wouldn't support Nick Alvear? What the fuck is wrong? Why? Why would you not do that? Everybody should do it. Everybody should be supporting Nick Alvear. It doesn't care if we don't care if we agree. Everybody should be there because it's taking down Phil. But that's not the same. That's not the same response they have to Pebbles. That's never the same response they have to Pebbles. That's never the response they have to Pebbles. In fact, now they're saying, oh, Phil's going to slow him down with this and that, and then he's going to do this, and afterwards he's going to cost her thousands of dollars and she's still going to lose. I thought everybody was supposed to be on board. What the fuck? By the way, this was very interesting. Dick says, F those retards. What are they going to do? Blast a screenshot on his irrelevant show? Oh, thank you for the 500 bits. I'm pretty sure about that.
You sure about that?
Uh-huh.
You sure about that?
I'm sure.
You sure about that?
Yes, I am sure. Thank you very much for the 500 bits. So they this is we need it. Thank you very much for the donation. We need a counter, an irrelevant counter. How many times they say I'm irrelevant? We need to keep a count. This is probably like 384 times. F those retards. What are they going to do? Blast a screenshot on his irrelevant show? I'm scared. Maybe he'll sick his Alex Jones looking he/she wife on us. Will is an inbred and nobody. Nick and Phil aren't beefing anymore, so Wildo may need to get his job at the sperm bank back. If you combined all of Will's followers, you may have a full set of teeth. And then Callie comes in almost instantly and says, okay, so if his show is irrelevant and he's a nobody, can we stop discussing him in here? I feel like there's hours being spent talking about this nobody. If that's too much to ask, I have no problem scrolling on. Wow, somebody said the quiet part out loud. Somebody finally said the quiet part out loud. If he's a nobody, why do we spend most of our day talking about him over and over and over and over again? If he's a nobody, why are we still doing this? How many hours are we going to spend telling people he's irrelevant? How long are we going to do that? Is it we going to keep doing it? Oh, her other account, here it is. It was called Lola Bobo. Here is another screenshot of her just liking shit over there. That's the woman. She has the same profile picture on both accounts. She's trying to hide. She's not doing a very good job. You got to get a new profile picture. Lola. That wasn't even the screenshot I was looking for, but I thought it was funny. If he's so irrelevant, shouldn't we just be done talking about him, or we're just gonna keep doing it? All right, let me find the screenshot I was looking for. Is not that one. Let me grab it. Now, after I pulled it up, I figured I might as well read it. It is interesting though that even their own chats like, are we going to keep doing this, or for real? Should we? Or how irrelevant is he? If we're just going to keep reading his shit, is he really that irrelevant? Then that person was told to drop it, by the way. Okay, let's drop it. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. Thank you for being respectful. Of course, it's time to drop it. Time to drop it. The only thing Will is relevant for is showing his willingness to allow Phil, someone he claimed he was against, to be a part of his chat. A part is not one word, by the way. Where many that are there joined because they thought Will was against him. I think it's important people see that so they can be careful who to follow. You got me there, I guess. It's not enough to see me be mean to him in my own chat. You got to have something more. Where is the one I was blast a screenshot? Will's followers have teeth. Where is the one I was looking for? There's one here somewhere. Anyone see? Oh, here we go. Anyone see Wildo's post? Something about anti-slap motion was denied. Is that a Pebbles case? And assuming that is a good thing against Phildo? Yes, Phil's anti-slap motion was denied, so the case is moving forward. Yes, thanks. Guessing goes to discovery next. Where's the one they were like, oh, Phil's just going to do this, then he's going to do that. Which case is this? He has a few. The Pebbles case. The Pebbles one, the hairdresser in California. Woohoo. So Pebbles posted a picture as well. There's some more I want to read, but it's not there. I don't know where that one went. Mods, if you have it, will you send it in the mod chat? There's one where they're like, oh, Phil's going to file this motion and tie her up, and it's going to cost her thousands of dollars, all that stupid shit. I don't know where I saw it at, but I saw it somewhere. Anyways, they claim that when I went after Nick, that everybody should be on board to take Phil down, right? No matter our differences, no matter what we believe, no matter if you think that Nick's a fucking retard, probably the dumbest person I've ever met online, you should just be on board because it's taking Phil down. But when the Pebbles case comes up, they don't take the same stance. It's weird. It's weird. I think it was Godzilla. He was like, oh, here's what's going to happen. Phil's going to draw it out as long as he can. He's just going to keep writing checks. It's going to cost Pebbles a fortune, and she's never going to win. Okay. You're the one who said it wouldn't get past this anti-slap motion. You're also the one who said it is filed in the wrong court. Weird. Pebbles argues that statements alleged against Godlewski are not tied to any issue of public interest. Pebbles maintains her action is based on a personal dispute between two individuals that is unrelated on any topic of public interest. On reply, Godlewski restates his position that Pebbles' claim arises from a protected conduct under the anti-slap statute. Godlewski argues Pebbles placed herself in the public eye by harassing Godlewski and his followers on Telegram. 2, by creating a nuisance in Godlewski's online community. Pebbles made her dispute with Godlewski a matter of public interest. And 3, Godlewski's statements were intended to direct people away from a business that did not share common values. Godlewski's statements were not statements made in a public forum in connection with an issue of public interest. Godlewski's statements were not statements made in a public forum in connection with an issue of public interest. According to Pebbles' complaint, Godlewski is a QAnon conspiracy leader and online personality. Godlewski has been written up in the Scranton Times-Tribune and other publications such as Rolling Stones and Daily Beast have covered Godlewski's notorious behavior. Scranton Times-Tribune published a profile about Godlewski's past criminal charges involving sexual relationship with a minor. Godlewski also has 300,000 Telegram social media followers. Godlewski confirms these allegations in his declaration in support of the anti-slap motion, including his community of 300,000 Telegram followers. Godlewski also testifies that his social media content garners tens of millions of views a month. Godlewski's online community is a place where people can connect, consider, and debate ideas. Godlewski and his followers exchange messages amongst one another regarding topics of interest to their community. There. Here it is. Here's the, thank you. It says, so it's from Godzilla. It says, so I got many DMs telling me Pebbles won her case. I don't know who said Pebbles won her case. She won the anti-slap motion. It says, truth be told, she was granted a motion, not the case. It would have been better for her if she lost. Now, again, remember, these are the same people that everybody's got to support Nick because he's against Phil. It would have been better for her if she lost because the future legal fees are beyond her imagination. Phil will hit her with motion after motion and refuse discovery, give all a difficult time. Phil, overall, whether he wins or loses, will squash her with legal fees. I wonder how many of Pebbles' supports will be there over the next couple of years to write $1,000 checks to keep her financially alive. Mostly the response is about social media jump and shout with people in gang groups applauding her success. I wouldn't want to be Pebbles in court against Phil unless her attorney is taking the case on contingency, which they rarely do in defamation cases. The social media applause isn't thinking about Pebbles and her legal future. They are thinking about themselves and the social media win. The same said the Scranton Times would be over next month, and now the judge has allowed the video arguments and motions back in. What? No, they haven't. They're waiting on another judge to rule on the issue of the summary judgment. Phil's legal team knows what they are doing, and if Pebbles should win, Phil will appeal, and if he loses that, she'll have to take him to court for the winnings, as he'll never write her a check. And it says at Phil Godlewski for transparency. Again, over and 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 over again. They told me I had to support Nick, because he's taking on Phil, except when it's Pebbles. Then it doesn't count. Then Mellon says, once again, I have ignored those that have caused, and now this is the craziest lie I've ever heard. Once again, I have ignored those that have caused and meant me and Kennedy harm for over a week. Prior to that, a month. And do you think the insults or attempts to clone my account or the lies, the obsession ever stops? So he's been quiet for a week and people still made fun of him. Now listen to this. Listen to this lie right here. I tried to give them enough respect to just ignore them. I tried to limit how they are referenced here in his chat. It has no effect. I tried to and successfully bite my tongue, but it just never stops with these people. So he's claiming that he tries to limit me being referenced in his chat. I'm the only fucking topic in his chat. Literally the only topic in his chat. They claim that I quit hating on Phil or whatever. They've dedicated their chat to me. And what? The what group on Telegram. That's it. That's all they talk about. All fucking day. Even their own members are like, can we stop talking about this guy? Goddamn. How many times can you call him irrelevant and then talk about him for another 14 and a half hours? So I apologize that Godzilla's post was deleted. This is the post about Pebbles. Pebbles asked us long ago not to discuss her case because she didn't feel comfortable with others from Tutu discussing her case. She needed a safe space, which she can do now in Meat Hammer, alongside their new star member, Phil, and she can speak about it safely. So we were trying to give Pebbles the respect of not discussing her, but she and they certainly have not and would not give me or Kennedy the same respect. No one gives a fuck about you and your girlfriend. Jesus fucking Christ. He tries to make it out like, oh, they're trying to destroy us. If I was trying to destroy you, you would be destroyed, motherfucker. What do you think you could do to stop me? Me or Kennedy, the same respect. So she can go ESSADEE. A holy moly one. I just refueled them for 3 weeks at least. My apologies, Godzilla. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? These people are insane. Anyways, Godlewski also provides context for his statements doxing Pebbles and encouraging his followers to post negative reviews and harass her. That's very interesting. He provides context for the harassment, the posting negative reviews and harass her. Pebbles inserted herself in Godlewski's community to post negative statements regarding Godlewski to his followers, stating that he was a pedophile and registered sex offender and admonishing his followers for subscribing to this monster. Now, this didn't happen, but even if it did, this still doesn't, especially they're claiming they're private messages from an anonymous source we heard today. This still doesn't cover anything. In response, Pebbles' post, Godlewski posted a picture of Pebbles' salon business page. posted an email Pebbles sent him privately with a picture of the salon's information page on Google with a statement, "I wouldn't want to do business with this person, would you?" Posted a review of, damn it, my Google's kicked on now because I said Google. Posted a review of Touche Salon based on the email exchange with Pebbles, and posted a video jokingly stating that he would own the salon and turn it into a taco stand. These are the precise statements that form the basis of Pebbles' complaint for IIED. Godlewski's statements were made in a public forum. It is settled that websites accessible to the public are public forums for purposes of the anti-SLAPP statute. The California Supreme Court held that websites accessible to the public are public forums for the purposes of the anti-SLAPP statute. Cases construing the term public forum as used in section 425.16 have noted that the term is traditionally defined as a place that is open to the public where information is freely exchanged. Statements on websites are accessible to anyone who chooses to visit the site, and thus they hardly could be more public. Plaintiff concedes that Pebbles concedes that Godlewski's statements were made in a public forum. The public forum element is therefore satisfied. Godlewski's statements were not made in connection with an issue of public interest. In FilmOn.com Inc. versus Double Verify Inc., the Supreme Court set forth a test to determine whether a statement was in connection with a public issue or an issue of public interest under E4, because the in connection with public issue language of E4 is identical to that of E3. FilmOn's test to determine whether a statement was in connection with a public issue is applicable here. While FilmOn addressed the meaning of the phrase in connection with as it is used in subdivision E4, section of 425.16, we see no reason why the same analysis should not apply when determining whether a statement was made in connection with a public issue or a matter of public interest for purposes of subdivision E3. In articulating what constitutes a matter of public interest, the court looks to certain specific considerations, such as whether the subject of the speech or activity was a person or entity in the public eye. Whether not the speaker, Phil, but the subject, Pebbles. Was Pebbles a person or entity in the public eye, or could affect a large number of people beyond the direct participants? And whether the activity occurred in the context of ongoing controversy, dispute, or discussion, or affected a community in a manner similar to that of a governmental entity. So would Pebbles' interaction with Phil and him doxing her affect somebody the same way the government would? Or is it an ongoing controversy that everybody's talking about? Or is she in the public eye? She's not. Just because Phil is, it doesn't mean anybody he interacts with now becomes public. It doesn't make any sense. In determining whether conduct was in connection with a public issue, a court must consider the context as well as the content of the statement, determining whether the statement furthers the exercise of the constitutional speech rights in connection with a matter of public interest. Whether conduct is commercial or non-commercial is one aspect of text that the court must examine in applying the catch-all provision, but it is not determinative. It is enough that the statement refer. It is not enough. That the statement referred to a subject of widespread public interest. The statement must, in some manner, itself contribute to the public debate. We are not concerned with the social utility of speech at issue, or the degree in which it propelled the conversation in any particular direction. Rather, we examine whether a defendant, through public or private speech or conduct, participated in or furthered the discourse that makes an issue one of public interest. But the inquiry of whether a statement contributes to the public debate is one a court can hardly undertake without incorporating consideration of context, including audience, speaker, or purpose. Is this a matter of public debate? And I think the answer is no. The court thinks the answer is no. Thus, under FilmOn, the court first looks at the context of the speech to determine what public issue or issue of public interest of the speech in question implicates. The court then examines the context or functional relationship between the speech and the public conversation about some matter of public interest, focusing on whether the speech in some way contributed to or furthered the discourse that makes the issue one of public interest. The specific speech that is subject to the plaintiff's claims is critical to the public interest analysis. Consumer Justice Center v. Trimedica International. Thus, at the first step, the focus of our inquiry must be on the specific nature of the speech rather than any generalities that might be abstracted from it. Later, in Rand Resources, LLC versus the City of Carson, the Supreme Court would identify 3 categories of statements that qualify as public interest. 1, statements or conduct that concern a person or entity in the public eye. Pebbles.
Anonymous gifted Robin Angel 1 a subscription. An anonymous
Thank you for the
user
gifted sub.
gifted a tier 1 sub to Robin Angel 1.
Thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. Statements or conduct that concern a person or entity in the public eye, not Pebbles. Statements or conduct that could directly affect a large number of persons beyond the direct participants, not Pebbles or her salon. Statements conduct involving a topic of widespread interest, still not Pebbles. Here, Godlewski's speech was posting that Pebbles' business information on Google with the words ready, set, and a string of emojis, a smiley face with sunglasses, a finger pointing at the reader, and a lip balm. 2, posting the private email he received from Pebbles, the same Google site, regarding her business and the statement. So this is how the owner of the salon speaks to people she doesn't know. Again, admitting that he doesn't know her. I wouldn't want to do business with this person, would you? And 3, a video stating that Godlewski would own Pebbles Salon and turn it into a taco stand. Godlewski asserts his statements relate to an issue of public interest based on the news articles reporting on his criminal record, as well as his 300,000 followers. However, although his statements were made in the context of an ongoing controversy or dispute over his criminal charges for sexual relations with a minor, none of Godlewski's statements themselves were about himself or those charges. Godlewski's statements all referred to Pebbles, her business, her statements to him, and her moral character. Boom. He can't claim that the matter of public interest is him fighting, him fighting the Scranton Times in court when they didn't even mention those. Merely disclosing his private dispute with Pebbles over his moral character, her moral character, and her business to his 300,000 followers did not make Pebbles a person in the public eye either. A private dispute does not become a matter of public interest simply because it was widely communicated to the public. A private dispute does not become a matter of public interest simply because you told a bunch of people. That doesn't make it public interest. A matter of concern to the speaker and relatively small specific audience is not a matter of public interest, and that a person cannot turn otherwise private information into a matter of public interest simply by communicating it to a large number of people. That is precisely what Godlewski attempted to do here. That is precisely what Godlewski... He tried to take Pebbles' private information, make it public interest just by giving it to the public, the 300,000 followers. The case of Woodhill Ventures LLC versus Yang, 68th Cal App 5th 624 is analogous to the facts presented here. In Woodhill, the plaintiff made multiple statements in public forums disparaging a birthday cake he ordered from the defendant. The Court of Appeals found that no protected conduct was at issue because, 1, so no protected speech or whatever, the statements complaining about the cake were not related to a topic of widespread interest, and any attempt to link plaintiff's complaints with the general topic of public concern over the dangers of candy confusion was remote and attenuated. So if you don't know about this case, Woodhill Ventures LLC v. Yang, I think they made a birthday cake with pills on it for some reason. Let me make sure this is the right case. I've read this case law, I believe, where they made a birthday cake that had pills on it, and they were like, oh, they can get confused about the pills. Here we go. Plaintiff runs 2 bakery stores in Los Angeles. It baked a birthday cake for the defendant's child. Defendant, who is a celebrity, objected to some of the icing on the cake, saying it looked like pills. He published scathing reviews of plaintiff's bakeries on the internet, leading to plaintiff losing customers and business profits. Plaintiff sued for defamation. The decision holds that the trial court properly denied defendant's anti-slap motion because he could not establish that his comments about a single birthday cake involved any issue of public concern sufficient to invoke CCP 425.16e protections. Defendant's comments were not closely enough related to the issue of public concern about kids mistakenly. So this guy tries to so he basically complains because he thought the icing looked like pills and just get in shitty reviews, right? And gets a bunch of other people to do it. Then when he has to go to court, he claims that it's a matter of public interest because he says that, oh, well, this is about kids all over the world. This is public interest because kids could confuse pills with candy. But that had nothing to do with his original statements. Just like Phil saying it's a matter of public concern because he's got this court case going on with Scranton Times, but he never mentioned that when he was talking to Pebbles. See, everybody says I don't do research. I knew this case law, you assholes. The statements by how many other people knew what Woodhill Ventures LLC v. Yang was? I should have been a lawyer. The statements by the plaintiff did not concern any person or entity in the public eye, despite the fact that plaintiff had a social media following of 1.5 million. So again, the Yang was apparently a celebrity, okay? And he had 1.5 million social media following. The statements by the plaintiff did not concern any person or entity in the public eye, despite the fact that the plaintiff had a social media following of 1.5 million and because the defendant bakery had achieved national notoriety. Woodhill Supra, 68, blah, blah, blah. The Court of Appeals explained that Yang's celebrity status did not make everything he said of public interest, nor did widespread communication of his private dispute render his statements in connection with the matter of public interest. Again, same thing they're saying to Phil. I want to see who it is. Hold on. I want to see who this celebrity is. Ben Baller Yang. Who is... Blinger to some stars? Oh, he makes jewelry? Ben Baller Yang, blinger to some stars, whatever the fuck that means, and his wife threw a birthday party for their 7-year-old child. London. It is this London's Instagram page. The wife ordered a cake from Big Sugar, an LA bakery. Is Big Sugar a big deal? Is Big Sugar a big bakery, I guess, out in LA? I've never heard of them. The parties dispute whether the bakery was told that London was turning 7. The wife sent this reference photo to the bakery. Note that a cake displays some colorful commercially available candies, maybe Mike and Ike's as metaphorical pills. The bakery prepared this cake. The court included this photo in its opinion. So basically, they sent him this picture. I'll show it to you. He's a blinger. Anyways, they sent him this picture, and it says slime. It basically makes slime on the periodic table, right? Slime, SL, it's 14 is its weight, and it's like slime on the periodic table. And it's got some chemicals, and even in this reference photo, this isn't the cake they made. Even in this reference photo, it had pills laying down here at the bottom, right? So this is the cake they made that had basically pills laying around too, I guess. Same thing, and it does LONDON. It says the custom cake upset Baller because he felt, unlike the reference photo, the pills at the cake's bottom were realistic, and this suggested the kids that pharmaceutical drugs are like candy. Baller communicated his displeasure to the cake shop. The parties disagree about what happened in those conversations, but Baller came away even more unhappy. He went on an online diatribe against Big Sugar at Instagram, where he has 1.5 million followers. He posted, among other things, "We're going to make at Big Sugar Shop Big Sugar Bake Shop feel it. Welp at Big Sugar Shake Shop, Bake Shop, you fucked up royally, and now you guys are legit canceled. And you fucked up my son's birthday, B-Day cake, so I'll make sure nobody I know or who knows me ever does business with idiots such as your business. Anyone in their even high mind would know that you should never, ever put drugs on a 7-year-old's birthday cake. They claimed that they never even told him his age. They didn't know he was 7. And on Twitter, where Baller has 300,000 followers, he posted, among other things, this place called at Big Sugar Bake Shop in Studio City, California, super fucked up my son's birthday cake. Instead of jelly beans, they put RX prescription pills on my 7-year-old's birthday cake. If they offered it and was apologetic about it, we would even be here, bruh. Instead, they threw the blame on my wife and hung up on me and acted like bitches. Damn it. They acted like bitches too? Well, I want to see this guy. Ben Baller, I guess, is the guy's name. Yeah, okay, he is a jeweler. Oh, I have seen this guy on social media, maybe. If this is him. Yeah, I have seen this guy on social media.
40 years old, out in public, after 9 p.m., just know that man took a nap earlier that day. If you see him...
Yeah, he makes custom jewelry, I guess. Ben Baller, there you go. He's got 1.9 million followers now. Anyways, back to this. How many people would have known that's what it was? I don't have any cold beer currency. I'm broke. Yeah, you just get it from chatting and just being at the show. It gives you so much for so much time. It's channel points. Is analogous here. In Woodhill, the plaintiff made multiple statements in public forums. 1, 2, 3. We read all those. The Court of Appeals explained that Yang's celebrity status did not make everything he said a public interest, nor did widespread communication of his private dispute render his statements in connection with a matter of public interest. The Court of Appeals also found the bakery to be a small business with 2 shops in Los Angeles and, therefore, not a business in the public eye. Right? Well, if this bakery is not a business in the public eye, then Pebbles surely isn't a business in the public eye. It's not rigged. I'll have you know, there is over a 1.5% chance of winning. You just don't like it. The reasoning of Woodhill applies with equal force here. Godlewski cites to Hall v. Time Warner in support of his claim that his statements were in connection with an issue of public interest because his widespread renown and status as a figure in the public eye. Godlewski has 300,000 followers, was written up in several publications as having been charged with having a sexual relationship with a minor, and his content receives tens of millions of views a month. However, these facts do not make him a public figure of such renown and repute that every aspect of his life and what he says is an issue of public interest, like Marlon Brando in Hall. Wow. 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 They're making Phil look like a retard, dude. They're making Phil look like a retard. It said most likely, Jessa. So it says Godlewski has 300,000 followers. He was written up in several publications as having been charged with having a sexual relationship with a minor, and his content receives tens of millions of views a month. However, this is from the court, dude. This is from the court. However, these facts do not make him a public figure of such renown and repute that every aspect of his life and what he says is an issue of public interest, like Marlon Brando in Hall. Oh, Jesus Christ. Damn. Damn. You about got it. Nor does the assertion that Pebbles created an online nuisance transform this dispute into one of public interest. The evidence as to the writings is fundamentally undisputed. Therefore, the question of whether it concerned a matter of public interest is unaffected by who started it. Again, that one of Phil's claims is like, she started this, and it's not even true, but they're not at that point to doing that yet.
61 just resubscribed for 7 months.
Uh-oh,
Hey,
7
brother.
months. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the resubscription. They're not even at the point of proving what's real and what's like what's true and what's not. They're just accepting it. But even if that was true, saying they started it doesn't make it public interest. Thank you for the resubscription. Oh. Finally, Godlewski's statements about Pebbles questioning her moral character and implicitly inviting his followers to harass her were not statements that could directly affect a large number of people beyond the direct participants. If anything, the statements could only have directly affected Pebbles, as they implicitly called for an action against her business. Let me read that again, because this is going to come back up in court, I guarantee it. Godlewski's statements about Pebbles questioning her moral character and implicitly inviting his followers to harass her were not statements that could directly affect a large number of people beyond the direct participants. If anything, the statements could only have directly affected Pebbles, as they implicitly called for action against her business. What was the action? To harass her. We've seen this several times. Oh, thank you very much, Patty. It says, go Pebbles, we love you, with $50. There you go. Pebbles is over, or was over in the Twitch chat. I don't know if she's still here, but I'll make sure she sees that. Thank you very much. Godlewski therefore fails to satisfy the first prong of the anti-SLAPP statute. Godlewski fails to establish the plaintiff's intentional infliction of emotional distress causes of action arise from protected conduct as defined under CCP 425.16E3. Godlewski's anti-SLAPP motion is therefore denied for failure to satisfy the first prong. So you didn't even get to the second part. The first prong, denied. Having failed to establish the first prong of SLAPP, the court need not reach the second prong of the anti-SLAPP analysis order. For the foregoing reasons, defendant's motion to strike plaintiff's first cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress pursuant to Code of Civil Procedure 425.16 is denied. End of ruling. The matters are called for hearing. After argument, the court now adopts his tentative ruling as the final judgment, as the final ruling of the court. So they did like a hearing or something after that, and now it says case management conference is continued to 7/29/24 at 8:30 a.m. Plaintiff is to give notice of ruling on the motion. Otherwise, notice is waived. So they made it a final ruling later on. So there's a tentative one, and then this came out that is a final ruling later on. There you go. Congratulations, Pebbles. That's the first big step, right? Everybody was telling her that it would get thrown out, that the slap was done, that this is it. You can't do this. Phil's going to destroy you. Now they're still saying stupid shit. Like, oh, he'll just cost you a ton of money, and who's going to donate then, and who's going to... We will, motherfucker. Y'all haven't supported her from the jump. So I guess we will fucking support her the best we can. God damn. Y'all fucking dipped out in the beginning. It's not even a real case. Okay. Okay. Ah, damn. Anyways, I was super excited about that. And not only did that happen today, but I found what I believe is my new favorite TikTok channel. Do you want to see it? Here we go. It's all comedy. Okay, so get ready. Thank you, Will, and everyone except you, Melon. Thank you, Pebbles. We appreciate it. That Nick Alvear shared Pebbles shit after he cussed her out, after he called her her and me pedos. Nick Alvear's now like, look at this, a big win, and Phil's in trouble now. The fuck out of here, Nick Alvear. You wouldn't even a goddamn flash in a pan, motherfucker. Go worry about your case that you're gonna lose. Ah, damn. Anyways, my favorite husband and wife comedy duo. Try not to laugh too hard. If you start hyperventilating, you can breathe into a brown paper bag, and it'll calm you down a little bit. You ready? Ready? There we go.
Baby, I got to tell you something.
What?
Well, we're having company over this.
What the fuck's on their roof?
Who?
My parents. And they're gonna stay all weekend.
What? Oh, somebody bless me! Help me, Jesus! Oh, no, God, somebody help me!
Here lies the man who found out his in-laws were coming to stay for the whole weekend.
There you go. That's the first one. All right, let's keep going.
What in the world? Are you insane?
Why would you ask me that? I thought we agreed that we was gonna throw our problems overboard while we was on this cruise.
We did, Jamie, but that was my mother. What in the world? Are you insane?
That was all of that one.
Why would you ask me that? I thought we agreed.
Baby, what's wrong?
I'm just really scared of the third letter, the ninth letter, and the 15th letter of the alphabet.
I like how he couldn't remember 3 different numbers, so he had to look. I'm really scared of the third letter, the ninth letter, and the 15th letter of the alphabet. He's good. Their acting's on point.
I'm just really scared of the third letter, the ninth letter, and the 15th letter of the alphabet.
Oh, I see. Baby, what's wrong?
I'm just really scared.
I've been in enough single wide trailers buying dope to know exactly what this door leads to. A rickety ass front porch with no railing. I know exactly where that door goes to. I fell off of many of those motherfuckers right there.
Hey, baby, can I?
No.
I was just asking if I could.
No.
Hear me out, baby. I just want to go.
No. I said no.
Fine.
Baby, didn't you say you was gonna clean the house today?
I was going to ask you if you wanted me to do the dishes, and you said no. Then I was going to ask you if you wanted me to take out the trash, and you said no again. Then I was going to do your laundry for you, but you kept saying no.
Oh.
Can I please?
Yes.
It's also got that. That weird dog chain hanging from it. That's got the spring with the 2 hooks on it. You know what I'm talking about? The way that door doesn't go too far.
Yes, you can.
Okay, thanks. I'm taking your debit card and I'm going shopping and I'll be back later. Bye, love you. Hey, baby.
Got him.
No. Does it look like I've lost weight?
It looks like the only thing you lost is your mind.
So full of the say it with me. Cow.
Does it look like I've lost weight?
There you go.
Oh, baby, I'm getting old. My back is killing me.
Jennifer, you are 39 years old. Pull yourself together.
Oh,
Wait, this one doesn't even have a punchline. The punchline is just that she's 39 years old.
oh, baby, I'm getting old. My back is killing me.
Jennifer, you are 39 years old. Pull yourself together.
It's called Luke the Duke 24. Luke the Duke, all one word. Luke the Duke 24. This one doesn't even have a punchline. It's just, you're old. You're 39 years old.
Do you mind going and getting me a watermelon?
What did you call me?
What? I just asked you to get me a watermelon.
I am tired of you calling me by other names. My name is not Melon, it's Jen. Get your own water.
Do you mind going and getting me a watermelon?
What did you call? Baby, did you know in Hawaii, the men when their wives work in the fields all day?
Well, if you love TikTok, did you guys see they, like an hour ago, they passed a bill to either sell it or ban it. They got 1 year from the time Biden signs it.
We'll sit them down and soak their feet in hot water and rub them down. Baby, did you know in Hawaii, the men, when their wives work in the fields all day, will sit them down and soak their feet in hot water and rub them down with the lavender?
Oh, yeah? Well, you should have been born in Hawaii then.
Baby, did you know in Hawaii?
Okay.
Why in the world would you say that I do not respect your privacy?
And when did I say that?
I read it in your personal diary.
How you like that? You gon' like that?
Uh-oh.
Baby, did you know at Kroger you can buy 40 waters for just $5.99?
Baby, did you know?
This is comedy, Dr. J, but now that you interrupt me, let me start over. Okay, this is highbrow comedy.
Baby, did you know at Kroger you can buy 40 waters for just $5.99?
Baby, did you know that I pay a water bill every month so we don't have to spend $5.99 on a bottle of water?
What are all the faces at the end, bro?
Is everything okay?
I just had a really scary dream and now my stomach hurts really bad.
What was it about?
It was about me eating a giant marshmallow.
A large marshmallow. Baby, where's your pillow? Is everything okay?
I just had a really scary dream and now my stomach. Well, baby, the doctor said we had memory loss and the best thing we can do is
Very good so far.
so we don't forget it.
Well, honey, it'll be all right. I sure would like a bowl of ice cream, though.
Well, baby, I'll go make you some.
Make sure you write it down so you don't forget.
I'm just going to the kitchen. I won't forget that fast.
Okay, honey.
Well, here you go, baby. There's the taco you asked for.
I told you should have wrote it down. You forgot to bring the salsa.
Well, baby, the doctor said we had...
Baby, did you know a banana a day keeps the potassium at bay?
Baby, did you know that a toothbrush a day keeps your bad breath away?
How you like that?
Oh, yeah. Got her. Got her.
Baby, did you...
Give it to me.
Baby, I need you to tell me the truth right now.
Okay.
Do I look good without makeup on?
Oh, you want the truth?
Yes.
Well, you can't handle the truth!
How you like that?
Has anybody asked why they have cabinets but no cabinet doors? Like, their cabinets are full of shit, but there's not a single cabinet door.
Give it to me.
Baby, I need you to tell me the truth right now.
It's convenient, I guess.
Do I look good without makeup on?
Oh, you want the truth?
Yes.
Hey, baby.
Hey.
Remember how you said you would really love to go see a waterfall?
Yes.
Well, you can see it right here.
How you like that?
This is what happens. This is what happens when you've scammed disability so much. You didn't make enough, so you draw like $35 a month, and you heard that people make money on TikTok. It's got to be funny. Oh, we can be funny.
Baby,
Let me bust down this Roxy, and we'll make a video. Come on.
really think you need to die.
What did you just say to me?
I'm just saying, I feel like it's time for you to die.
Jamie, you better explain yourself.
Well, you're the one that said you feel like you would look better with blonde hair or red hair. You're the one that wanted to die, not me.
How you like that? You gon' like that?
Got him.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
How would you like to go
I figured it would give you flashbacks. This is a lot like your trailer.
shopping?
I'd love to. What am I going shopping for?
You going shopping for some Pepto-Bismol and some air freshener because you got that bathroom stinking.
you like that?
So she has smelly shits. She's fat. She needs to dye her hair. She's got smelly shits. She's 39 years old. Is this just roast? Is this just an excuse to roast his wife?
Baby, you need to cut your hair.
Baby, you need to grow some hair.
How you like that?
Oh, she got him. Okay.
You gon' like that? Da, 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 da.
Baby,
Tell me you'd do anything for a Percocet without telling me.
somebody just texted me IYKYK. What does that even mean?
If you know, you know.
Well, obviously, if I did know, I wouldn't be asking you.
Baby, if you know, you know.
Baby, I
Dude,
don't
where's
know,
my
so
car?
stop being
Where's your
crazy
car,
and
dude?
just tell me.
Baby, think about it. IYKYK. If you know,
Yeah,
you
but what's
know.
mine say?
Think about it.
Pretty good.
Baby,
Baby,
what?
I'm gonna turn you into diesel.
What? What does that even mean?
Because I'm tired of all the gas.
How you like that?
Get it.
You gon' like
She still smells. She
Hey,
still smells.
what? Baby, I have found the perfect gift for you for Christmas.
What?
A treadmill. Because you need to exercise.
Oh, and she's fat. And she's fat.
how you like that? You gon' like that?
Where's he running to?
Baby,
Why does the when he dances or she dances, why does the other person freeze? Is time being manipulated here?
Baby, I was thinking, I think I might cook tonight.
There's a 1993 Jeep Grand Cherokee that hasn't ran in 15 years.
Think I might cook tonight.
oh yeah? Cool. Do you want me to help?
Of course, baby, that would be great. Baby, I thought you were gonna help.
I am, baby. You said you were cooking, so I'm prepared to help.
Oh, she can't cook either. Got it.
Baby, how in the world?
I wonder how bad if this is them after months and months and months of doing this. How bad did it used to be? Let's see. Okay, this is the very first video they made. To be fair, this did actually get suggested to me. Okay, the sound isn't available on this one. This did get suggested to me. I swear to God. I didn't just find it. No sound on this one. Okay, here's the first one with sound.
Whose shirt is this?
It's your shirt.
This is not my shirt. You know I don't wear this size.
Well, you did
When?
2 months ago.
It just hold on. It just said fat. Fat. I bet he vapes too.
Baby, whose shirt is this?
It's your shirt.
This is not my shirt. You know I don't wear this size.
This is my favorite comedy channel. Fuck y'all.
When?
2 months ago.
Fat. See, he's frozen and she dances. No sound. No sound. No sound. Apparently, they aren't giving credit to the sounds they're using. No sound. Okay, here we go.
You need to cut your hair.
Baby, you need to grow some hair.
We just saw this when they were wearing a different
How
outfit,
you like that?
right? So they recycle the same jokes, apparently. Muted. Muted.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby,
How would you like to go shopping?
I'd love to. What am I going shopping for?
You going shopping for some Pepto-Bismol and some air freshener because you got that bathroom stinking.
Smelly shits again. Okay. Recycle the smelly shits. Makes sense. Who needs this turkey when you got a butterball right here?
Baby,
Okay, one more.
you need to brush your hair.
Well, baby, you need to brush your teeth because your breath is kicking.
How you like that?
So he says you need to brush your hair, and she says, well, you need to brush your teeth because your breath stinks. It's very good. It's very good content. I don't know what you guys have been watching, but this is stuff dreams are made of, honestly.
Baby, will you?
Yes, yes, yes.
Give me a Percocet.
Baby, I hadn't even asked a question yet. Let me finish.
Whatever it is, yes.
Okay, baby. Will you pop my back? Because it really hurts.
Ooh, got him.
Baby,
What was that? Aren't blue so he said, aren't blue whales beautiful? And she said yes, and he said good because you look just like one with that dress on.
I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true. I will rescue you, and I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of the hottest fight. Is true. I will rescue you. Oh, I will rescue you. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest.
I just thought of a song that reminds me of you. Well, what song is it? Here Comes Santa Claus. It's good. I mean, it's good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I would say, also on YouTube. Also on YouTube. We haven't even checked out their YouTube content yet. Look out. They're also YouTubers. Did you guys even know that? Don't watch this video.
Hey, you got
How many views does it have? 126 over 5 months.
big.
I might be big, but I'm a big old bag of love.
Oh, I know that's right.
Wipe it down. Wipe.
Baby, how would you like me to cook you a nice home-cooked meal?
Wipe.
Oh, girl.
Wipe.
People love to watch. It's like watching a car wreck. People love to watch cringe.
Wipe.
Well, true man, you're eating bologna and cheese, cause we got bills to pay.
She's quite the singer.
Baby, what are we having for dinner tonight? I'm hungry.
Well, baby, tonight we having poking grits.
What? What in the world is poking grits?
Well, it's where you poke your feet under the table and you grit your teeth because you ain't getting nothing.
How you like that? You gonna like that?
Got him.
Why do we have so many?
Got him. Did you guys know who Mariah, what's that YouTube channel? With the Asian guy and the guy with the big nose. And they do like all kinds of conspiracies and stories and stuff like that. Is it called Watcher? Is there a YouTube channel called Watcher? I know you watch it. Is there a YouTube channel called Watcher or something like that? There used to be BuzzFeed. What were they called on BuzzFeed? So they basically, it's called Watcher, is what they are now. They used to be on BuzzFeed. I just looked it up. It's called Watcher now, and they actually had really good content. But yesterday, they decided to basically destroy their careers. Let me show you how. So yesterday, they decided they were going to announce they were going to their own paid platform, and the only way to watch their videos is to sign up on this platform and pay for it, which is usually a horrible mistake. When you have millions of followers, millions of subscribers, like you can make memberships. You can even do Patreon if you need to. But leaving YouTube for your own platform is just not feasible. There's just no traffic, right? You might have dedicated fans who follow you, but how are you ever going to get new fans? So this is the announcement they made yesterday.
As sad as it is to say goodbye to YouTube, it's the right thing to do. If this is my last time on YouTube, then baby, what a life I've lived here on this platform. I grew up on YouTube. All of my heroes were on YouTube. I learned how to be a human.
They're leaving YouTube. The title of the video is Goodbye YouTube.
It's just tough because I've always really loved.
Yeah, you can even put extras or behind the scenes, but you're never, ever, ever going to get new viewers if you go exclusively to your own platform. How are you ever going to get traffic?
Cared about the YouTube community, so it's hard to leave.
Like, let's say you put 2 videos a week on here, and then you do 1 video a week on Patreon or behind the scenes or extended cuts or director cuts or something. But to leave it all together is silly.
My name is Ryan Steven Vergara, and I'm part of Advanced Video Production.
Hello, I'm Professor Morris Ashley. Welcome to another exciting episode of Extreme Science.
I had no idea what to do for my intro. Please don't stop watching. Please.
My first YouTube video that I ever made was in 2012.
So these were the BuzzFeed Watcher guys.
Weird. I was like, I guess it's worth maybe good at sort of chasing like viral stuff. The stuff that I did find success with was stuff that I was very passionate about, and that was kind of hit or miss, you know?
Yeah, we were working.
Ruining history.
I had a passion for making content and making it.
Went from.
This is the stuff that I watched. Is their conspiracy series. This video right here. The guy with the big nose and the Asian guy. I couldn't remember the name.
A passion for making content. Nobody had quite done that. Full-blown developed shows had not been.
The only reason I'm showing this is because there's an update.
A lot of your content during a tough time, and it really helped us. And that's always really nice. Positive in terms of what YouTube is.
Content for all of you fans, all of you out there.
They started on BuzzFeed, then they went on their own thing.
And we're also making it to please the advertisers. It's difficult to make the stuff that we want to make.
You got to be somewhere. Like I'm on Twitch and Rumble and YouTube. But even when I do Patreon stuff, I would never go 100% to Patreon because how would I ever get new patrons? Right? There's no fucking way.
Also then appeal to the advertisers as well.
It costs. Before that, we also have to do the pre-production of the episode. And when you add that all up, we're talking about an end of a season that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not sitting here complaining that is the bed we've made. Everyone
hundreds of thousands of dollars for production of a video.
Has different missions they're marching towards on YouTube. Ours was to make a television show. And, you know, over time, our amounts, which is like, we start first by looking at what we want to say.
All that being said, we have realized that it would be great if we could find a way to rely less on advertising, not make
I'm sure
business. So
they always are.
Working over the past few months and years, like how can we make this business more sustainable? How can we make something where we can make the things that we want to make for all of you guys and not be worried about all the other forces that are here? In terms of where this company is going and where I believe that we can be the most successful, YouTube is no longer the place for that.
For anybody who's watched or supported us to this point, truly, thank you. The goal was always to make television caliber quality content. And not just for YouTube, but for you guys. I guess we just hope you guys follow us this one last time.
To our very own independent streaming service, Watcher. Watcher is an ad-free, independent streaming service dedicated to providing you guys the television caliber content that you know and love. But you're probably wondering, how is it going to be different than the YouTube experience?
The new streamer, I think, is a place that reflects what our
so they're going to their own thing, right? Or they're trying to. I'll address it in just a second. I saw it.
Destined to be.
First of all, bigger.
So there's the new claim is that I buy bots, I guess, for my views. If I was going to buy bots, I'd buy a lot more.
I did to improve Ghost Files. I mean, I'm very happy with how the show has been, produced so far. But the stream also, what you guys will see on the stream.
This makes something that is very simple.
So they do this big announcement that they're leaving, and everybody, this is 4 days ago. I know I said yesterday, 3 days ago. Anyways, they do this big announcement that they're leaving, and everybody's like, this is dumb. This is stupid. This is so fucking dumb. Like, you're not going to get any new viewers that are going to sign up for your, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do this? So today they come up with a new video trying to save their asses.
Hey everyone, last Friday we announced that we're leaving YouTube and launching our new streaming platform. We messed up. A lot of you spoke out with extremely valid comments.
Hold on. 4 days ago, they're leaving YouTube. It's no longer viable. They're making a TV show. They need $100,000 plus per episode, and they're going to their own platform. We got 3 seconds into this video.
Hey everyone, last Friday we announced that we're leaving YouTube and launching our new streaming platform. We messed up. A lot of you spoke out with extremely valid comments and concerns, and we want to take the time now to address those.
The way we handled this, as well as the way we communicated it. We understand where you're coming from, and we were making immediate changes.
First, we want to affirm that you are the reason why we've been able to do anything at this company. You helped us every step of the way when we left BuzzFeed to start Watcher at the top of the pandemic in 2020.
You've supported us in so many ways by watching our content, attending our live shows, buying our merch.
So a lot of people, like they basically left BuzzFeed right at the start of the pandemic. A lot of people got extra views during the pandemic because everybody was home, right? And now those views are wearing off, and they're trying to think of other ways to make money.
Becoming members of our Patreon and giving words of encouragement over the years. And we are incredibly grateful for your support.
We're sorry for how we originally delivered our goodbye message to YouTube. It was insensitive. We didn't properly express how much we appreciate all of you. And we did a really bad job of explaining the reasoning behind this transition. We also want to deeply apologize.
Reality set in, that's right.
The cost. We regret stating and implying that it's a price that anybody can afford, and we fully acknowledge that it is not. We didn't take the proper consideration for how this cost would affect you, and hope you know that we are taking this as a serious learning experience. With that in mind, we're making some changes to ensure that there's a way for our community to continue watching our content for free.
If you want to watch our shows early and ad-free, you can catch them on the Watcher platform a month earlier. After that, you'll be able to watch our shows on YouTube for free. For those that have already subscribed to the platform, we are so grateful for your support, but if this change has you rethinking your membership, we will issue a full refund. And all past episodes and series will remain available on YouTube.
As for the question of why we decided to launch our own platform, when we started Watcher in 2020, we wanted to create shows that we were proud of, that we had ownership over, and that would provide you the caliber of content that we felt you deserved. However, we were finding it harder and harder to stay relevant to advertisers and the constantly changing YouTube landscape. We faced some incredibly challenging decisions.
It took them 4 days to figure it out. I thought it was 2 days. Well, I guess it was more like 3 days because they had to put this in production, edit it, and get it out. It's clearly edited. So it took them 3 days to figure it out, and there we go. The rest of the video for the Michelle Moore interview, was, it mentioned, it actually mentioned Nick Alvear. Hold on, let's see if we can find it.
Truth anyways. And so it's the 20% that gets you to go along that you don't know, because the 80% looks and sounds so great. We started putting some dots together, but that's why it's so important. First, this way is that all things lead back to the Constitution. So
it's law. You can be a trustee and you can also be a beneficiary. It's written with the Bible, and it is also a trust indenture. We trust sending a letter to then Anthony.
Nick was in chat, and they also mentioned Nick.
Back into this work because I was
spoke with him. You said that. How did you come to that assessment? You've listened to the Michelle Moore Show with Jack and Margie. You've explained that statement to me because I know you've done a ton of research. You've been through all these different programs. You've listened to the Michelle Moore Show with Jack. So, Jack, what is it about that when you look at everything looking back, okay?
All these people start coming out like Ann Vandersteel to get us on board with state nationalists.
Officer know that I've done all that? Is there some kind of
the only thing that supersedes the Constitution?
He basically said that Nick Alvear invited him to come on a show about this state national shit, and that what's her name? Mickey was trying to take that over as well. He then goes on to say that he went to some place called the Weiss Castle in San Diego, and he thought it was weird because they went there to party and hang out, and Mickey was there, and the guy who owned it was Ukrainian. And that was some type of bad thing. The guy who owned it was Ukrainian.
Oh, but she looks so honest, or he looks so honest. And
I thought he was doing good work for us. He goes, oh, thank you for what you're doing. I've heard some things. And I'm like, he goes, keep up the good work. So, all right. And I said, do you mind if I get a picture with you? Mm-hmm. I got a picture with him. And then he left. 10 minutes, people on the table like this, and Flynn's like talking to them, and looked like a very serious conversation. So there is also people in the background drinking and having fun and all that. So I go over there and I mingle a little bit. When Flynn gets up to leave, I went over to him and I said, thank you so much for what you're doing. Because at that time I thought he was doing good work for us. He goes, oh, thank you for what you're doing. I've heard some things. And I'm like, he goes, keep up the good work. So, all right. And I said, do you mind if I get a picture with you? Mm-hmm. I got a picture. I think he knew that I was being watched, and I think he knew that I was going to be onto something big in the future. But I think he was there for me.
Another claim is that he had people watching him, and Mickey took him in a car ride by himself one time to see if she could manipulate him, and she was using some type of gematria witchcraft while she was driving down the road. She'd be like, God is our father, 315. A beautiful sunset, 315. He makes fun of her gematria.
Now, what is your take on that? I know what Mike Gill and I have discussed, but what do you think?
We the people own the entire flag. Shouldn't it be put up somewhere? It's for all of us.
That you're trusting the wrong people. So that research on that.
Times there are going to wolves in sheep's clothing.
Saying this about you, you know, when people go through what Matthew has gone through, and there's a lot we haven't gotten to that we're never going to get to. And Beach Rich said, so are you saying the whole Q movement is a psyop? Well, I can't really speak to that. All I can tell you is who owns the boards and where they come from. And so, you know, that's all I can tell you. You have to make those own assessments. So,
won't come out and say that the Q movement's
Evelyn Doss says, amen, Matthew, and stand firm in total.
Everyone, I'm going to tell you, just because they didn't kidnap me and put me in a room and MK Ultra me, MK Ultra is everywhere. And tactics, you can use them at the grocery store with certain people. And
there you go. Everybody's MK Ultra.
Said Mickey.
Was it more than one time? And so, and I know you know what I'm referring to. So can you kind of take us to that point as well? And then we'll come back and pick up from the Flynn party when you come back the next time. Okay, perfect. So Wayne Willett, I know that's his real name. And that's what Michelle has found out as well. But for those of you, it's 107. My friend Tim Canova in Florida put me in contact with him. Tim ran for a seat in Congress in 2018 against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Lost to her due to election fraud and whatever. I've interviewed Tim before. Tim is we all know Jack and Margie said there's no such thing as a constitutional lawyer. But Tim
there's 100% constitutional lawyers.
He's an attorney. He loves the Constitution because I was getting into some trouble in Florida. You shouldn't.
Oh, by the way, he also had a warrant for not showing up to court. So he had an order to appear at court for some trouble he got into, also related to his mask thing. And he says that Mickey talked him into not going to court because they were just going to railroad him to prison. So he flees to Florida. He leaves his home state and flees to Florida and ends up with a fucking warrant.
The state national stuff is a fraud. Like, you need to get away from it. Like, but just talking about the Constitution and me on three-way with Tim. And
so wait a minute, real quick.
Constitutional lawyer told him state national shit's a fraud. Get away from it.
I just want to make sure that people are connecting dots. And I'm just suspicious, okay? So this Tim has run for office against Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and she's real tight with the Clintons, by the way. So he loses, but he's buddies with Wayne Willett, who won't tell you his name or show you his face. Okay. And he works with
Saban.
And so he was against Trump, but okay, I got it. All right.
Yep.
Okay, so they get one on. They get Wayne Willett.
They get Wayne Willett on, and we talk, and you know how he is. He goes off and doesn't even really talk about the substance of what we're supposed to be talking about. But then he made some statements that I found odd, and he had said to me, he goes, "Look, I know who Anna von Reitz is. I'm very good friends with her. I've spoken with Anna von Reitz." He goes, "But you need to let us and the White Hats handle this situation. We've got it under control, and I'll be damned if a bunch of sovereigns ruin that for me."
All right. What do you think that?
Do help me here in Arizona.
Look so much more important. Go in. So it's Pandora's.
Take this country back. We cannot relinquish the power into all these.
And it was coming up.
But he still believes half this shit. By the way, there was supposed to be someone that came on today that also talked about the Mickey shit, but I don't remember. I don't know which one it was.
So he will be with us throughout the show today.
Oh my God.
We're going to spend the next little bit, the next 7 to 10 minutes or so.
You guys know who that is.
ML the floor rearrange his schedule to be on today's show, and so he will be with us throughout the show today. We're going to spend the next little bit, the next 7 to 10 minutes or so, and we're going to give ML the floor to share what he would like to share. It's kind of an abbreviated version of everything, because I mean, how do you even get in?
This guy's one of the biggest scam artists there is. This is the guy that told us that Doug Kuzma didn't die. He was on the mothership getting his med bed treatment.
Everything that you happened to.
While we were looking for an extra large casket, this motherfucker's like, he's in space.
No, ML. So with that said, ML.
And to actually voice the truth, I appreciate the last 2 shows that you did with Matthew. I really appreciate Matthew.
I think he talked shit about Mike Penny. The person, I think Laura sent this to me. She might not know who ML is.
As a true truther, whistleblower, this is what's needed right now. I'm seeing a significant shift within the Patriot community here. And I said this was going to happen on my show with my followers going into the new year. I said there would be a significant shift in our community where the old guard, if you will, would start being exposed for the lies, the fraud, the corruption.
By the way, I don't buy bots. That's the new claim that I was going to address. So it says, the guy says, thanks, Melon. I will repost my deleted messages later today. I will also make my own announcement page with it looking like Will Bird is now buying bots. So basically what his claim was that he checked he checked my views at like 3 a.m. on Twitch, and then at like 7 a.m. on Twitch, and my views had went up by like a couple hundred. And he's like, oh, clearly Will's buying bots. That's the claim Godzilla's making now. I don't know where he gets that. If I was going to buy bots, it'd be more than a couple hundred.
You know, the things that they've done to us. I've been a victim of this. You've been a victim of it. We've all been somewhat of a victim of certain platforms, certain truthers, alleged truthers. And I'm able to provide a lot of context, you know, Michelle, because for 3.5 years, as I've had my own podcast and my own show, I've talked extensively about these things going on 3.5 years when it's not popular to talk about these things because it upsets the apple cart, right? And I go against the narrative. I've always tried to provide a fair, balanced approach in the way I present content and truth on my platforms. You know, in the old days, when we grew up watching the news, you get both sides of the story so you can make a fair evaluation of what's true or what's not true. That's what I try and do. And it doesn't make me popular, but it's the truth that needs to come out no matter what. So when I watched these two shows with Matthew, it really triggered something in me to connect with you in this because I can provide a lot of context on top of this and add as another witness to the things that he's talking about within this movement that's been going on for quite a while itself. You know, I came into this in the spring of 2021 because Scott McKay issued a challenge to truthers saying, hey, if you're a true patriot.
Oh, Scott McKay got them all started. Here it is. Let me read this to you. It says, does Will Bird use bots for views? Been watching his numbers this morning. At 5:27, it showed 83 views for his show last night. So here's what I think he fucking did. Let me finish reading it. At 5:27, it showed 83 views for his show last night. At 6:03, magically, it showed 458 views. Interesting.
Journeyman
The difference.
_G just resubscribed for 14 months. Well, tickle my anus and call me Samantha.
Uh-oh. Call you Samantha. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Journeyman G. Samantha. At 6:03, magically, it showed 458 views. Interesting, the difference is 375. Might be a bot purchase. I've got the screenshots. I started watching this when I repeatedly saw large increases in views at 6 a.m. I thought originally it was due to a lag on Twitch. I researched, not show. Twitch has implemented measures to detect and prevent the use of U-bots, but it can be challenging to definitively determine if a streamer is using them. However, there are some indicators that can suggest the use of U-bots, irregular growth in views, check the streamer's social blade, or analytics. So I can show you my views, and there's no way. So the only thing that I can think of that he would even see 87 views, I have more people than that watching live, is that he opened my page last night, and then at 6 something this morning he hit refresh. That's the only thing, or he's making it up, one of the two. But you can see my views when I get views, and when the views are happening. You can even take it down to the hourly. Like this is my Sully Gnome. And it says 101 average viewers. So there's no way I had fucking 87 views with 101 average live viewers. So 101 average viewers, if I have 100 average viewers, when the show's over, I'm probably going to have like 200 and some views because those people come in and out, right? And you can see this, it is clearly an increase in views. Obviously there's spikes in views, probably where Phil shared it. So like this one had 667 average viewers. That's probably where Phil shared it. Somebody could go back and look, but this is like March 12th and April 5th. These are probably shows I did on Nick Alvear where Phil probably shared it. But other than that, I'm on this metric of building my views. Basically, I'm trending upwards. We have hours watched. Hours watched is down because I've been doing shorter shows where I've been starting later. 100% gain in followers. 104% gain in followers, 232% gain in peak viewers. Hours streamed is down, just like I told you, it's behind the chat, but it's down 32%. And my streams are down 18%, only 132 streams, which is 30 off from the last 180 days. We're on 180 days metrics. But you can see my trend up. Like, obviously, I'm not buying. If I've been buying bots, then I've been buying bots since I started the fucking show, right? I would have had to have been buying bots since I started the fucking show. There's no goddamn way that where are these bot purchases? It's I don't know. I think he either opened my show last night and left it setting and then hit refresh and was like, oh my God, it jumped by. But when I end this show tonight, go back to the Twitch replay as soon as it uploads and see how many views it says. I guarantee you it won't be in the 80s. There's no goddamn way. I have the screenshots. Sure you do. Sure you got the screenshots. You're probably all over it, don't you?
and you want to come in and join the fight, start your own podcast, share your knowledge, share your information. So that's what I did. I took him up on his challenge after the election was stolen in 2020. I took him upon that challenge to do so. I didn't realize at the time that I would be deep diving into a true psyop, a disinformation operation that's been ongoing, but it's coming unraveled right now. All right. I was at the very beginning with the Negative 48 group, the Sacred Blue Tent group. I was really well connected with them. And I was able to see things behind the scenes that was going on as those platforms were growing and developing. And I saw the characters at play here. Mickey Clan was very instrumental in that. As a matter of fact, she was instrumental in the Jesus Strand movie itself being produced. There was a lot of things that went on behind the scenes there where she started to take credit for the production of that. She didn't produce it. She didn't provide content or research. She just provided financial backing for it. That's all she did. But she tried to subvert that initially and take advantage of that. She tried to release that before the group wanted that released to the public anyways. And there was a falling out that took place at that time between her and this group. So I was heavily connected with Negative 48, where I was invited to go to Arizona to some meetups that were down there. And at that time, Scott McKay had just shown Negative 48 along with Tom Numbers on his shows. And he was really promoting the gematria stuff that was going on out there. And so I was getting involved, and that's when I got involved with Mike Penny. Before Mike Penny got on PPN, I was doing shows with Mike Penny. And I was dropping a lot of bombs at that time that made people feel very uncomfortable, only because I was questioning the narrative of things. But I started seeing within the Negative 48 group, I started seeing disinformation being put out there. I started seeing different individuals portraying who I now know as a character named Negative 48, aka Michael Brian Proxima. I started seeing irregularities taking place.
A character,
and
of
there was a
course.
reason why for the longest time he wouldn't show his face like we're doing right now. He would only have a placeholder as a profile because he had a script that he would go off. That's why he was able to reel off gematria codes so fast. But once you started deviating from...
He didn't have a script. There's no goddamn way he had a script. But he did memorize a lot of the gematria bullshit like an autist.
Scripts, he would get upset, he'd get agitated, he would cuss, he would swear. His alter ego started showing up. And that's when he started realizing something else is going on here. Something else is going on here. And so as I got closer to this group, individuals in this group, I was invited to participate in their channel. I started doing more shows with Negative 48, with Charlie Freak and other individuals as well. And so I started getting connected to this inner sanctum of that platform itself. A couple months later, in 2022, it was in January, February 22, I went down to Texas because Trump was down there doing some rallies down in Texas. I went down there to the Trump rallies as part of the Negative 48 family, if you will. I spent enough time with those people down there to see something more sinister, I believe, was taking place down there. And most people, unless you're there in it, you're associating, interacting with those people, you don't know what is really going on. So in February 22, the last time I was down in Texas, I spent a week and a half with this group down there, and I talked to a lot of individuals. I interacted with Negative 48 myself multiple times.
Wait, I think this is a lie.
I spent enough time with those people there doing some rallies down in Texas. Later in 2022, it was in January, February 22.
When I remember this, he convinced Mike Penny to go to Dallas, and he did not go. We were all calling him a Fed. He set up Mike Penny. Like, he's like, I'm going to be there. Negative 48 is going to be there. We're all going to be there, and we're going to do this. He even told everybody that Michael Brian Protzman was the fucking angel Michael, the archangel Michael. That's a fucking lie.
And so as I got closer, deviating from scripts, he would get upset, he'd get agitated, he would cuss, he would swear. His alter ego started showing up. And that's when he started realizing something else is going on here. Something else is going on here. And so as I got closer to this group, individuals in this group, I was invited to participate in their channel. I started doing more shows with Negative 48, with Charlie Freak and other individuals as well. And so I started getting connected to this inner sanctum of that platform itself. A couple months later, in 2022, it was in January, February 22, I went down to Texas because Trump was down there doing some rallies down in Texas. I went down there to the Trump rallies as part of the Negative 48 family, if you will. I spent enough time with those people down there to see something more sinister, I believe, was taking place down there. And most people, unless you're there in it, you're associating, interacting with those people, you don't know what is really going on. So in February 22, the last time I was down in Texas, I spent a week and a half with this group down there, and I talked to a lot of individuals. I interacted with Negative 48 myself multiple times. There were different individuals portraying this character, Negative 48, as I told you in our previous conversation. One day he would be clean shaven. The next day he'd show up. He would have a 2-week growth beard on his face in a matter of 24 hours time or less. One day he would be taller. One day he'd be heavier set. Just, you saw different irregularities taking place with this individual. As I started interacting with family members down there, they started telling me things that they've noticed that was just baffling to them, and they couldn't put their finger or pulse on what is going on with this guy. So when I came back in February of 2022, I reported back to my audience the things that I witnessed, and I pretty much blew things wide open, and it opened up a firestorm against me, where they were attacking me left and right, trying to scare me. The normal modus operandi. When you start noticing things, you start reporting things, and that's one thing I can say honestly, that I've always been honest, transparent with those people that follow me on my channels. Always, I've always tried to include them in everything that I was experiencing and seeing.
All right. So I want to say something real quick. I just want the audience to stop for a second, and I want them to think about something. So what ML is describing, and I got goosebumps. What you're really describing is that you had an opportunity to see behind the curtain and to start connecting dots like anybody, any one of us could have been in that situation. And so you just believe people, you just think everything's what they've been saying. I mean, I can totally relate to the situation here. And so what ML is saying is that as time went on and as he starts to notice things, it's like, okay, it's like me when I went to Mar-a-Lago a few years ago.
I know specifically we called him a fad because he talked Mike Penny into going, and then he didn't go. He even did a video that said agents showed up at his house and told him how important he was, and he needed to protect himself because he was going to be part of the new media when Trump was put back into office. Just crazy shit.
I've been very open and honest about it and said, I'm telling you right now, I met 3 different Trumps in a 24-hour period. And so when you're saying you met 3 different negative 48s, okay, all right. So I'm just asking the viewers to think about this for a second, what ML is describing, because think about it. You're going and you're having these experiences. I'm sure you were excited. And then you start noticing things and you start.
This dumb bitch shouldn't even be covering this. There's 3 different negative 48. Shut the fuck up.
Realizing this doesn't look good. So this can really be jarring. And then ML comes back and tells his audience the truth. And sometimes the truth just cannot be shared. And so that's what you're sharing is then the backlash of that, which I've talked with others that have experienced that, where their lives get taken apart because of telling the truth to the people who say they want the truth. And so everybody needs to think about what is going on right now. Okay. All right. So ML, continue.
Yeah, thank you. So I come back and I report my findings, and it really rocked a lot of people's boats, and I understand why. You know, as you just said, you witnessed 3 different Trumps in Mar-a-Lago. Well, when I went down to each different Trump rally, I saw a different Trump, but I was only 25 feet away from him at each one of these events because I was able to sit with the negative 48 family in sectioned off areas where they were at every event. So I was able to see close enough the different features with each Trump that was out there front and center. And so I know many people have reported the same thing when they would go to these different rallies, and they would see different things with Trump too, as they recognize we're dealing not with the same individual in this case. Well,
did you find out, quick question. So did you ever find out how it was that group got to be so close to the stage?
Yes. So they wanted you guys to think that negative 48 was connected to the Kennedys. See, this is where a lot of people were manipulated in thinking that he was either JFK Jr. himself, JFK Jr.'s brother, or cousin or something.
You called him the Archangel Michael, sent from God. But you're like, oh, he was confusing people because he was letting people think that he was JFK Jr. or JFK.
All that they did was they would show up 24 to 48 hours before their Trump rally. They would save their spots at the very front of the row before the rest of the people got there. So they were able to secure first pick once they were able to go through the vetting process, the security process to get in there. That's how they were able to secure themselves. All right. Okay. It wasn't because they knew people or they were special or anything else like that. That's what I saw anyways.
All right. J&B is asking, she says, I thought that negative 48 died in a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's what they said took place last June, was that he was, I think, in Minnesota or Michigan, something like that. And he was on a motorcycle and he died.
It could have been in Minnesota or Michigan. I know it started with an M. Like, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Because he was a dirt bike racer. That's what he claimed. He's from Spokane, Washington, and Idaho. That's where he grew up at. Most people don't know that negative 48 was a Mormon, grew up in the Mormon church. I don't think he was active during this time, but that was his background. And he confirmed that to me as well. So I know
but you know, how can that be if there's 3 different ones? I mean, that character could have kept going, but they've obviously killed that character off. GG 1970 says, remember when negative 48 had everyone in Dallas promising JFK Jr. would show up? He made fools out of everyone. I just want to say, my deal is in the back room right now, seeing this and hearing all this, and some of this stuff he probably has no clue about. I am sure he's about ready to pass out. So ML, you were actually at that event, weren't you? That's what you were telling me this morning? Okay.
Actually, I didn't go down. Right. So I was invited and expected to go down to Dallas during the first pilgrimage down there in 21. I didn't go. I had some other issues up at home that required me to stay at home, but I was expected to be there because negative 48 and some gematria codes had let some information out in regards to me that were secret comms that only he and I knew about. And so I was expected to go down there and play a part in things, but I decided not to go. I was doing shows with Mike Penny at that time, so he went down there at that.
Yeah, you fucking fad motherfucker.
Now, this is the thing that's baffling to me, Michelle. Mike Penny, a week prior to that, I was doing shows with Mike Penny. I was supposed to do a live show, but I was actually on the Sacred Blue Tent on the Telegram channel this particular night, a week previous to going down to Dallas. Mike Penny decided to do the show without me. He had a heart attack, live, right there on the show. They had to carry him off to the hospital. He died.
He did not have a heart attack. He had a gas bubble from indigestion.
En route to the hospital. This is what they're saying.
Wrong.
They had to put a defibrillator into his heart because he only had 40% capacity of his heart.
You started a GoFundMe for him without anybody asking and raised him $70,000. Remember?
At that point in juncture. And yet, the guy's able to go a week later.
ML has a Telegram. I don't know if he still has a channel or not.
Down to Dallas to spend a week down in Dallas. I don't know. Everybody I've ever met that's had a heart issue like that, they're off their feet for months recovering because it takes so much out of you. But for some reason, he was able to recuperate fast enough to go down there. He was reporting to me on a daily basis everything that was going on in Dallas with negative 48, what he was telling people down there. He literally told people, negative 48 got people to believe that JFK Jr., JFK Sr., and President Trump were all going to come down to Dallas, Texas, and they were going to make an appearance, which is going to be part of the restoration plan. This would be a signaling event that would actually get Trump back into the White House. JFK would make the announcement. JFK Jr. would make the announcement that he's the vice president, serving with Trump in secrecy. All these things. These people, thousands, came down to Dallas, converging for the big reveal.
Okay. Now, was this a negative 48 event? I just want to make sure I understand.
Yes.
So this was his event. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, what were your experiences or red flags with the Mickey Klon thing? So help me to understand. And when you came back and all that, like, so how was it that Matthew's interviews impacted you so much? Like, what was it that stood out to you?
Well, it's because it's the Bonds with the Win program. So when Mickey Klein started the Bonds with the Win program, negative 48 was promoting that heavily. So were any platforms attached to his platform.
This guy, if this is how she vets people and brings people on, I mean, like, who the fuck are... Like, we're supposed to believe these people? This is who she fucking brings on? ML and this fucking guy? Like, now I believe the other guy less.
They were promoting it. So I jumped on board with Bonds for the Win. And so I helped become one of the leaders in the Missouri chapter of the Bonds for the Win program. The problem was there was no direction. There was no instructions. There was nothing. So we were left empty-handed. We didn't know what we were supposed to do. There was no leadership at the top. I had actually talked to Mickey Clan saying, hey, we're needing help. We're needing guidance here. What are we supposed to do? She said, oh, we're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. But nothing ever came about of that. It was about 2 or 3 months after seeing it just unwind, because everybody was having the same experience. As Matthew was telling you guys, they were on the other end trying to answer emails, trying to answer inquiries from people who were participating and leading and building the bonds within the program, and they were baffled as well. Well, it's my understanding is this. All right, y'all. This is ML with Redneck Renegade Radio. Today is Thursday, March 10th, 2022. It's approximately 1,315 hours. That's 1:15. There's something interesting that just happened here, you guys, and I need to make this.
Listen to this.
Document it for my safety, if you will.
It's him in 2022.
I told you we needed more glitter.
Possibly my family's safety. Okay. I just got home a little bit ago with my 11-year-old son. We went out to lunch. I got home. I was getting ready to hit the head. And our dog Bandit, he's a great, massive Pyrenees dog, was freaking out. So I go look outside, and I see 5 vehicles pull up into my circular driveway. 2 trucks, there were crew cab trucks, and 3 SUVs. There was approximately 10 men that got out. They came up to the door. They didn't even have to knock on the door. I opened up the door, and I stood right in our doorway, in the threshold of the doorway, and I said, "How can I help you, gentlemen?" And this one guy, who said he was with the FBI, said that they were here on quote-unquote official business. I said, "Well, official business, what are you talking about? First of all, I don't know any of these other gentlemen." I said, so I asked, "Could I see some credentials, please?" He said, "Absolutely, sir." So he showed me his credentials from the FBI, and his partner showed me his credentials. There were 2 gentlemen that had showed me their credentials, which they are from Secret Service. And then there were 4 other gentlemen that were from State Highway Patrol. And then there were another, 3 or 4 people that were actually from the local sheriff's department. I got to see all their credentials and verify. I said, "Well, how can I help you, gentlemen?" And they said, "Well, we're here because of a call that was made to our..."
I interviewed Phil to debunk everything he said. That's not the same as bringing on ML and being like, "Okay, there's 3 -48s. Are you guys hearing this? 3 different ones. And he didn't die in a motorcycle crash." The fuck?
Our office, and it was made at the local authorities, which was handed up to us through the quote-unquote food chain, if you will, command structure, whatever. And I said, "What do you mean a complaint?" And they said, "Well, we had a local citizen call and tell us that you are one of those extremist right-wing QAnon prepper-minded individuals." And they asked, if I have a fallout shelter with body parts in it. I'm like, "What? Fallout
sure they
shelter
did.
with body parts? What are you talking about?" And they were kind of laughing and chuckling. I said, "Wait a second." I said, "That's not why you guys are here." I said, "I'm a prior deputy sheriff." I said, "I can smell something's not right here." I said, why are you guys officially here? What's the real reason that you guys are here?" They said, "Would you mind stepping out with us, Mr. Castor?" I said, "Well, no, not at all." So we went around to the side of the house, and it was just me and 4 of the other officers, 2 Secret Service, 2 FBI agents. The Sheriff's Department highway patrolman stayed around the front of the house. My son, 11-year-old, was at the home at the time, and he was witnessing this whole thing. I said, "What's the real reason that you gentlemen are here?" And they said, "Well, we're here because..."
I bet you he told his wife this shit too. Like, "Oh, my son was here. He saw it all." He was coaching him to tell his wife so he looked cool.
We're doing our due diligence. We're conducting a national security clearance background check on you.
So they are not. The FBI is not the people. This is all a lie, 100%. The people who come out to do a background check, a security clearance background check, are called OPM. And they show up in suits, and they do their thing, and they have credentials to show you, not a badge, but like a basic set of credentials. In the United States, when you get a security clearance, the people who show up are not FBI. They're not Secret Service. They're not a state trooper and a deputy. It's Office of Personnel Management. Those are the people who show up to do it. He's lying through his fucking teeth. If you didn't catch it by now, he's fucking lying. They're not going to send out the Secret Service to do your background check. Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't want to say the word targeted, but we're here because we're doing our due diligence. We're conducting a national security clearance background check on you. You have...
Ask me how I know. Just ask me. I've had every fucking clearance you can hold.
I don't want to say the word targeted, but you have been recognized, I guess is the best way of saying this. You've been recognized as someone of interest that's an influencer within this certain movement, and you are sharing sensitive, credible, nonetheless, but sensitive intel with individuals. And we're here on behalf of the government. And I'm like, well, what does that have to do with me? I'm not getting this. What does it have to do with me? I said, because...
Oh, now he's playing coy.
No, you got my background.
He's playing hard to get with the CIA and the FBI. Oh,
right. So you guys already know. You guys already know. My prior law enforcement, anything I've done in my background and history, you guys already know. I said, so what can you possibly come here to find out about? They said, sir, we're doing our due diligence just to meet you and let you know that there are individuals at the highest levels of our government who are watching you and are watching other individuals in this movement right now. I said, really? Well, is this a good thing or a bad thing? He said, no, sir. This is not a bad thing. We just want to let you know that there are individuals at the highest level of our government who are watching you and watching other individuals that you are connected to. And we wanted to do our due diligence to follow up and make sure you are of sound mind, sound body, whatever. I said, this doesn't make any sense. I said,
my parents have been interviewed. My sisters have been called. I had school teachers that were interviewed at one point, and school teachers that were called. My parents were personally questioned. I don't know if it's because they didn't answer. My parents do not answer numbers they don't recognize. I don't know if it's because they didn't answer or what, but they were personally interviewed. I listed some of my childhood friends or my longest friends I'd had, which ended up being like childhood friends I was still friends with at the time. Some of them got talked to. I think that was about it. School teachers, I said that. A cop in town that knew me somehow got interviewed. It's like a cop that not only had he pulled me over a couple times, but I was actually good friends with. Him and his son got interviewed. I think that was all that I know of. I'm sure they called employees, former employers.
You guys are being very, very vague. They said, right now, that's all we can offer you, sir. They verified my contact information. They had all my contact information. Of course they would. And they said, in coming days, you'll be getting notification for further instructions. Further instructions? What are you guys talking about? They said, right now, sir, we're not at liberty to tell you, but we're here on official business of the U.S. government. I said, can I ask you guys a question? Who's the president of the United States?
What did they say? Who's the president of the United States? What do they say in 2022 in ML land where he's keeping his powder extra dry? Who do you think they said the president was?
They said, sir, the president of the United States is Donald J. Trump.
The FBI, the Secret Service, the state trooper, and a local deputy all showed up at his house. And they said, sir, the president of the United States is Donald J. Trump.
They said, the president of the United States is Donald J. Trump.
It almost made him cry.
That was enough for me right there. I had them come in for a few moments, spoke with them for a few moments, and they left. There's certain things that was told to me, shared with me, that I'm not yet able to say. But I want you guys to know things are about ready to kick off. Things are about ready to kick off.
This is in 2022. Things were about ready to kick off. 2 fucking years ago. February 2020. 2 fucking years. Things are about ready to kick off.
And what was shared with me is that there are other influencers out there, if you will, other people within, I guess, our circle of influence, within the Q movement, QAnon movement, whatever we call us, that are being contacted. If not some are being contacted.
I think he's 100% doing this for a cash grab. I don't think he's delusional. I think he knows he's making up stupid shit that stupid people will believe.
And we'll be given further instructions in the coming days. I'm not at liberty to tell you what those instructions are about, but I wanted to document this and let you guys know what just happened here. For these men to sit there and say that the president of the United States is Donald J. Trump, that was pretty powerful.
Well, if they would have said Joe Biden, he wouldn't have let them in. It's only because they said Trump. And he's like, come on in, guys. Let's have some tea.
Have a great day, y'all. Oh,
you guys want to shoot my dog?
Sorry, I need to tell you this, too. Oh, my bad. I contacted a friend of mine that's a vice president within Wells Fargo down in Salt Lake City, Utah area. I had spoken to this guy for a year or two, and I'd asked him if he knows anything about the QFS quantitative financial system itself. And he said, ML? He said, absolutely. He says, we actually just went through 6 months of training. The back-end system, the SWIFT system, is no longer active. And the new system, which is connected to the quantitative financial system, there's an actual name.
So Wells Fargo, president of the Wells Fargo Bank, told him the quantitative financial system's kicking off any day now.
It's not the QFS. It's actually been replaced. And he said for the last 6 months, we've been in training as we've been integrating the new system into the old system and working out bugs.
Integrating. Why can't you say integrate? Integrating.
So I was a little shocked.
The president handpicked this motherfucker and then called it off when he heard him pronounce integrating.
His first name is Chance. And so I said, Chance, so when is this supposed to roll out, the QFS, if you will, within the banks? I said, is it within a year, 6 months, 3 months? He said, we actually signed a non-disclosure and NDA. Everybody at the executive level within these banking institutions have had to sign NDAs. He said, what I can tell you, ML, is we've gone through extensive training for the last 6 months to integrate the new system and get rid of
integrate
the old system. It's been phased out. And he said, within 3 months, we should start seeing the new system on board.
Within 3 months, we should. This is in 2022, bro. 2022. And the last thing I'll share with you tonight, I could get on the treadmill, was this. I got an email today from the one, the only, you know him, you love him. Where the fuck? What did I do with it? Hold on. It's here. Is it on this? It's got to be on a different one. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. You know him, you love him. The one and only Scott McKay sent me an email today. Apparently, I used one of my burner email addresses to sign up for his Quantum Healing Center. And here's what we got from Scott McKay, official media outlet for Scott McKay says, a couple months ago, I became concerned that my business partner in Terra Quantum Recharge was not operating the business ethically. So he claims that his business partner was not operating the business ethically. This is like a letter they sent out to everybody. It's like from his media department. At that time, I withdrew some of the property that I contributed to the business, and I stopped participating in the business. So he claims he became aware that his business partner wasn't being ethical, and he took his shit and went home. One of the systems I had provided the business involved credit card processing. Uh-oh, are you fixing to tell me that you committed a crime? When I removed the equipment, I thought all the charges would stop. I was wrong. Automatic charges continued. When I became aware of this the first time, there's multiple times, I contacted the processor and they claimed they would stop all the charges. However, 2 days ago, I learned they were not shut off. No money was making it to my business bank account. Don't worry, it didn't go to my bank account because my account was frozen from a fraudulent wire attempt. They were trying to drain our business reserves. The recent membership charges that did go through are sitting in a holding account of the payment processor. I immediately jumped into action and discovered that yet another company needed to be told to cease operations immediately. I apologize to all of you that I did not know this before. I am told all the charges have fully and finally ceased. I instructed the company to process refunds for all charges going back to May 18th, the very first business day after the equipment was removed. Sure you have. I have been informed this morning about the charges will be refunded within the next 5 to 7 business days. Yeah, I'll wait on the check. It'll be there any day now. Again, my apologies to those who are affected by this.
But wait till you get home. She gonna be like, damn, shit, my God.
Thanks to the great show and wonderful community. Thank you, Jay Bird. 8 6-packs. I appreciate that. I've been informed this morning about the charges. The charges will be returned within the next 5 to 7 business days. Again, my apologies to those who are affected by this. My former business partner has used my absence to spread lies about me. I have tried to take the high road and stay out of the muck until I gather enough evidence to prove what I believe is true. In the meantime, you should know that I'm not associated with what happens at Terra Quantum Recharge, and I cannot take responsibility for the way it is being run or the quality of care members are receiving. Unless you're being repeatedly charged month to month for our monthly membership, then that's 100% on me. But the rest of it, I can't take credit for. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I had no idea. I wonder how many of these charges go to his bank account and do not get sent back. Do not get sent back to the credit card companies. Very strange. Seems like a scam to me. But Scott knows how to pick the scams. He's good at that. All right, I'm out. That's all we got time for today. I'm not listening to ML talk about anybody. I don't trust him on anything. He's blatantly lied to our fucking faces again and again. So even if what he's got's juicy about Mickey Clan, there's no credibility there. It'd be funny to laugh at it, but there's zero credibility in anything he says, right? You can't trust any. At least the other guy didn't know, right? Maybe he's not credible either, but at least I didn't know for a fact that he's not credible. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you on the next one. I'm trying to be here earlier. We were behind on some stuff, obviously, and catching up. I weeded it for like 8 hours today. So hopefully I'll get in the rest of the week a little bit earlier and start the shows earlier. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. We'll see everybody on the next one. Have a good night. Love you. See you. Bye.
But I can tell you this about
Oh no, Phil. Oh no.
have the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the fork and balls.
That's right. I'm trying to move shit so it don't clear too quick and make my account go negative, much less being able to ignore it for a fucking year.
Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up.
Treadmill time, baby.
Here we go, I think I started some shit.
I've actually lost quite a bit of weight. I think it's just because I just started, so it's like a react when you first start, especially if you've been in shape before or had muscle before, it's a lot easier to like kick off again. It takes off pretty quick, but then it plateaus like everybody else.
All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip, worshiping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit, swinging fucking meat hammers like Thor in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating this.
Mariah's been telling people I'm losing weight to leave her.
I'm gonna make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped it to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine, with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? Stop. Hold on. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously. My mom's an alcoholic. Oh, give me a... Oh, my God. Damn it. Here we go. I think I started some shit. Piss them off. It's about to get lit. Get the place in the best. You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go. I think I started some shit. Piss them off. It's about to get lit. Get the place in the best. You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Round 3. Down goes Nino. Please say it isn't so. Got him backed up on the ropes, trying to ram it down his throat. Now things are getting rocking. He was doing so well. It's all over. Hands on his shoulders. They ringing his bell. You got Frog News Network doing no damn research. They rework and copy on Cox that came first. 9th inning, second string, and they acting like they know hitters. Assholes throwing bullshit, sending runs to the shitter. All this nonsense on my conscience. It's hard to sleep at night. Who the fuck is in my window with this time of the night? These parasites, these leeches, with all their secret meetings, teaching all you fucking cretins about baby-eating heathens. Believing in reason with no meaning is bullshit. Will Bird motherfuckers out here busting the grifts. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit.
Bye, guys.